this is Jeff Waters.
And this is Alexi, and you are watching
loudguitars.com.
Thank you.
Come.
Hi, this is Pamela Ashton for Loud Guitars, and I'm sitting here with Alexi Laiho. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Children of Bodom, very, very accomplished band. 7 studio albums, 2 live albums, 2 EPs, 1 DVD, and I know I'm forgetting something along here.
Well, there's probably like 7 singles. But you know, they actually went gold in Finland, but you know, that's about it.
Yes, all of them, since the third record was certified, the certified gold in Finland, and then every record since. So congratulations, it's a wonderful track record to be working with. 15 years, this is your 15-year anniversary. Has the music industry changed an awful lot since you started playing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a whole different game, a whole different world. But I would say that for metal, you know, it's been actually really good since, you know, like we started doing like demo tapes and stuff in like 1994, and that's when metal was just like the whole metal scene was dead. It was basically just underground stuff, and it was really hard to get a gig anywhere, and it was hard to get a record contract. But we did eventually in 1997, and you know, we just really wanted to rock, and somehow we managed to do that. And then that underground thing, you know, kind of like became more popular, and then before you knew it, like metal was kind of big again. But then again, you know, there's a flip side to that coin. Like, of course, you know, like the album sales for most likely every metal band, you know, has gone down a little bit, you know, because of people download the you know, they download the stuff, you know, as opposed to buying the CD. But you know, what are you gonna? There's nothing you can do about it. So, you know,
Play lots of shows, right? Sell lots of merch.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's what you're gonna do. I mean, so basically, if you don't know how to play live, then you're fucked.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Now, when the band first started, were there a lot of venues for you to play? Were you able to get out and do a lot of playing at the beginning?
Well, we would take any opportunity to play live that there is. You know, if there was like, I mean, most of these things or events were like ridiculous, like because they were like all in like in Finland, you know, which is a small country to begin with. So you know, if they would open a goddamn supermarket somewhere, you know, you know, we would play there. You know, I mean, we would play like 2 songs in there, and that's that. And a lot of other like weird. We would play in like other schools, like in the middle of the day. You know, somehow we got that. You know, gigs like that. But also, you know, like the underground scene was really active as well. So there were a lot of dudes, you know, who would arrange like proper shows in like, you know, somewhat proper venues. Like a lot of like death metal bands and black metal bands. You know, just there would be like 8 bands on the bill, and the whole like a lot of fans actually, because they knew that would be like the only show to hear this kind of music. So it was pretty wild, but you know, I'm glad that it's over though.
So to go from playing supermarkets to touring the entire world, you've played, I think, just about everywhere. Have you got? I would imagine that the audience reaction is different in different cultures in the different countries. Have you got a favorite place to play?
Well, I know this sounds really, really super gay when I'm saying right now, but I love Montreal. I mean, I really do, and I'll tell you why. Because that's because I mean they have like, well, actually not only Montreal but Canada in general. So it's just magic.
So you can actually see differences in the audience reaction to, well, like, could you, if you watched a video, let's say, would you be able to look at the audience and say, oh, that was probably in the U.S. or that was probably in Europe, depending on the behavior of the audience?
Maybe sometimes, yeah, but then again, it's really not that different between like Europe and US, but well, okay, well, another example is like, Japan, which I mean, that's like, they're the craziest fans ever, but they're so polite, that, it's kind of weird when, like, right before the show, nobody, like, nobody said, like, there's no talking or, like, there's nothing. It's like dead quiet in the audience. They're just like, because they don't want to, like, yeah, they're just waiting and they don't want to, like, disturb anybody or the band or I don't know what the hell's happening, but it's kind of awkward. But when you hit the stage, they go nuts. I mean, like, they make more noise than the entire world, combined. So I mean, that there definitely are like a lot of differences, between the audience and stuff. But you know,
That's really that's really cool because that's a perspective that we could only get from speaking to somebody who's been on the stage looking out. Now, I actually walked by you at NAM in January. How was that experience for you?
well, it is what it is, right? Now for me, it's just like basically now it is just something that I gotta do, and obviously, it's because of like I gotta do stuff for the companies that endorse me or like ESP Guitars. Hi there, and ESP DR strings, EMJ pickups. So I do signings and stuff, and that's about it. But like I remember like the first couple of times I went to Nam, it was 'cause it is a big party, but it's like super super hectic, and so now it's like basically I just kind of want to stay away from the whole party scene because it's just too much. Depending on like where you're at the moment, but like this time, like this year, I was just like I was so tired from like just coming back from a long tour, and like I didn't really want to be around people that much.
So you weren't saving yourself for the 70 tons of metal?
Well, I tried.
And how was that? Was that a first for you?
I was the first, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, well, I gotta tell you that the shows sucked. I mean, they were like horrible, really. Other than that, the whole cruise was a blast.
I was blown away that you are able to sing and play the lead lines that you play simultaneously. Does that require a whole lot of separation to have both melodies going?
Well, the thing is that I think, I mean, at least for me, it's just something that you just need to get used to, and then it just sort of happens automatically. And I started doing that when I was really young. I was like 13 when I started to like, because I had to be the singer since nobody else wanted to do it. Like no, everybody was like, well, I don't want to do it. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. And so it, you know, so I started learning it like when I was really young, and I don't know, it sort of came naturally for me. Actually, funnily enough, doing like the lead lines and stuff, while I'm doing the vocals, that's the easiest part. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes the rhythm guitar, like the riffs in the background, it's not like it's not about like how fast you play, it's more about the rhythm. Like, basically, sometimes we have like pretty complicated riffs, and it's basically just like the rhythm is like the exact opposite what the vocals would be. But so that's something that I need to practice like sometimes, but I I get it pretty easily though. I don't know why, cause like it's weird. I mean, at least I know how to do something.
And you do it very, very well. It's amazing to watch. How is a song born to Children of Bodom?
Well, it starts with guitars, like pretty much every single time. Or, well, that's how I started. Like basically, I have to just wait for inspiration. So it's either gonna be like a guitar riff or a melody or some sort of rhythm, and then it's just me, guitar, and my old school four tracker. Then I kind of like start putting stuff together, and then if I have a couple of riffs, then we go to the rehearsal pad and we jam on it for a little bit. And
Oh, look, we have a visitor.
Jeffrey,
Sorry, I was invited.
what's up, Jeffrey?
Unless you kick me out, I'm staying.
Hell no, you're staying, dude. What's up?
Came to sing Turbo Lover with you again.
Oh, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
awesome.
well, you can see it on YouTube. It's a brilliant, brilliant
Have you seen it?
piece.
I'm not here. Yeah. I've seen it. I'm bad. I'm bad. Fucking
Oh, it was
bad.
so fun. You know,
I'm really bad at karaoke. He rocks.
Come on.
there's something that is just so free about people having fun, especially, people that are in the spotlight, and some people take themselves extraordinarily seriously and they can't cut loose even when they can. So it was magical watching you guys cut loose. I thought it was great. Very fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's what karaoke is all about, anyways. But I could tell you, like, doing heavy metal karaoke, like, the whole night up until, like, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's gonna hurt the next day. I mean, wow.
That's when you need endorsements from like Preparation H or something after screaming for like 6 hours. What's next?
Well, we got 1 week left on this tour, and then we get a month off, which I definitely need. Well, we all do. And after that, we start doing like the European festivals, which is gonna go on throughout the whole summer. So we do most of the major festivals and club shows in between. And basically, after that, we're done touring for this album, and then we're gonna start writing new music finally, which I'm pretty anxious to get going.
Now, when you're out on the road for extended periods, do you ever have ideas for new songs pop into your head?
I do all the time, and I just don't really act on them, because I don't want to even like try to write when I'm on the road. I mean, the thing is that like when I write stuff, I need to be in privacy. Like I need to be alone, and when you're like surrounded by drunken psychopaths, like 24/7, it's just not gonna happen. So the writing, like the whole like the life of like writing music and the life of touring, I have to keep them completely separate. I just want to concentrate, one thing at a time. But I get a lot of stuff in my head all the time, so I'm not gonna forget about it. So once I get home, I'm gonna start.
So you'll actually remember it, like you'll have an idea, a couple of ideas on tour, and you'll be able to get home and get into writing mode, and they'll come back to you, like they're not lost.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because my memory sucks. I don't remember like what day it is or where the hell I am, but I do remember the riffs. Like they just never go away.
How about inspiration? What was the last piece of gear you picked up that made you want to play something new, want to write something new?
Well, I started using angle amps like recently when I play live, and it kind of like made me like playing live again. Well, the thing is that, like I always rolled with this Lee Jackson preamp, and I love the tone that I get out of it, but it is a pain in the ass, like, like on the road. It's like always, it breaks like every second day, and like it's always like overheating or something, and it's an evil thing. But it sounds awesome though.
And you love it.
And I do, but like I just got sick of the fact that my guitar sound just sucked every other day. There was always some sort of problem. So I started using this Angle preamp, and it's like it's so awesome that I'm like just loving every minute of it. Definitely.
Well, that's great. That's great. I've seen your music described as so many different types of metal: black metal, thrash, speed metal. I'm wondering for you, I mean, it's funny because I think metal is one of the only styles of music that has to be further classified, it seems. A rock band is a rock band. An R&B band is an R&B band, but metal, it's like it needs that further definition for whatever reason. For you, when you describe your evolution in this band, where would you say you are today if you were going to use a combination of those blank metal adjectives?
Well, I don't really use the blank metal ones really that much, but well, I mean, I could tell that, okay, this and that one, they're black metal bands, but, when it comes to Children of Bodom, it can't really be categorized, I mean, I just call it's either heavy metal or extreme metal, and that's as far as I can go.
good. So we've narrowed it down to 2 categories. That's good because I think it's too much to try to keep up to, and then you're trying to write in a certain direction. Or do you have anybody that you're listening to right now, guitar player wise, who you feel is an influence on your playing and your writing? Of course, besides Jeff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there's this band called Annihilator. It's pretty awesome. The guitar player kind of sucks, but otherwise, it's awesome stuff.
Okay. And
Besides Jeff. Besides Jeff.
but besides Jeff, of course. And are there any young bands that you've played with that you see being up and coming that we should be keeping our eyes out for?
I mean, I know that there are a lot of them, but whenever somebody asks me, asks me this question, I just I can't come up with anything. I mean, I'm sorry, but
No.
like I said, my memory sucks. It does.
Except for riffs. You save that storage for the really important things.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks that if you can't remember like your girlfriend's birthday, it's like I do sort of a bit, but yeah. But I do remember the riffs, yeah. But I mean, hey, there are a lot of good bands, like amazing players out there, and they keep coming, and I think that like especially playing ones, they get better and better all the time. So you have to fucking keep up with that stuff, because like otherwise they're just gonna like run all over you.
Now, we were talking earlier about how technology has affected the music industry as a whole. Do you feel that if you could spin back time and do anything differently, is there anything that you would do differently? Do you wish that technology hadn't advanced to the point where people were able to so easily share music? Is there anything that you would want to change if you could?
Well, I wish that it would. Obviously, it's impossible. Of course, I would hope that it would not be. People would not be able to download music for free, because most of the people, that's what they do nowadays. They don't buy CDs, and it's a funny thing, really. Because they're like so into this band, but by like illegally downloading that crap, they're killing that band. Because the thing is that if you don't buy the album, they're not gonna make it. It's not about the money. It's not about the fact that they're like money hungry bastards, But you need money to make another record, and if you keep doing this MP3 shit, like it's the other album is not gonna happen, So.
And for somebody starting out in a band right now, would you have a little piece of advice for them? Besides playing grocery stores and supermarket openings?
Well, besides that, I think that if you're gonna have to, then do it. Just take any possible opportunity you get to play live, and just do it. And it's gonna be weird. It's gonna suck, and people are gonna throw shit at you. But it's still worth it at the end of the day.
You know what? I'm so appreciative that you took the time to talk with us tonight. I so appreciate it. I wish you all the best and a very, very wonderful rest